What's up, everybody? I'm at the Regal Warren East, and we saw Beetlejuice in the Grand Theater tonight. Ooh, it's a very big theater, pretty big screen. It's a lot of fun. I'm rocking my ramen shirt and pajama pants. My son got me this shirt. He's adorable. The shirt's amazing. It's winning, right? I got my popcorn refill. All right, so you know how I go with that. So, Beetlejuice is the movie of the night. And we saw it was nice. We got to see essentially a premiere, a screening. It's Wednesday night. All right, nobody's seen this movie yet unless you've seen it Wednesday night. If you saw it now, like with us, or at the other location. Or if you're one of like the much better YouTubers that reviews movies and they get to see it like a month ahead of time or a week ahead of time or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of a struggle. Okay, all right. Okay. So I had to tell myself it's supposed to be weird, and what is weird to people nowadays versus what was weird to us when we were younger. Okay, so overall, it was a good, fun movie. It struggled in a lot of areas. Okay, it moved really slow in the beginning. They're giving you character development, kind of. They're making connections. They're opening up certain behaviors with the characters so that when they're in there, you understand why they're behaving the way they're behaving, for the most part. But it's still really an awkward dynamic. That's what it was. So yes, the movie is supposed to be weird, right? But it was an awkward dynamic. Some of the connections didn't work. Some of the jokes earlier in the movie felt really flat. The soundtrack struggled. There was a scene where she's on a bicycle and she's riding and she feels free riding on the bicycle, and so there's the music going along with it, which is really smart. But then she's not paying attention and she has to swerve in front of one vehicle and then another vehicle, and she almost crashes and dies. And then she goes down a hill and goes through a fence and slams into a tree. And the entire time, the music doesn't change. So when it went from her riding free and enjoying her ride to all of a sudden being in this chaos, the music stayed the same. And that was really odd to me. Oh, I thought that was really strange. It just didn't add up. I'm sorry to say, it just didn't add up. I was like, ah. So the tone, that's where I'm going with it, is that the tone for it didn't work out in that scene. We also have to remember that a lot of the actors are much older. Michael Keaton is 73 years old. So his exaggerated movements from the first movie, he can't exactly pull those off in this movie. He did make some pretty good jokes, some stuff that he stayed true to the Beetlejuice character. So I'm going to give him full credit for that, for really trying to make sure that he continued the Beetlejuice that we know. But, again, it was kind of rough because he couldn't do the movements like that we know Beetlejuice. I apologize for that little bit of animation that probably wasn't nearly as good as Michael Keaton would do. But that was pretty rough. Lydia, of course, played by Winona Ryder. She's also getting up there. I don't know. I mean, she can't be too much older than me, so I gotta be careful there. But you know, she's up there. So they tell the story of Jenna Ortega's character, Lydia's daughter. I cannot think of the character's name right now. Do you remember? Astrid, like the stars, I think, is what that is supposed to refer to. And Charles, Lydia's father, has passed away. Astrid loved her grandfather very much, and she's broken by this whole thing, but she doesn't believe that Lydia can see dead people. See, remember, Lydia could see the dead couple from the first movie. Well, now she's got a whole TV show about it. So now she has a show, and her daughter honestly thinks she's a fraud. And so she's dealing with that whole connection. She wants to love her mom and everything, but she's like, no. And she gets made fun of at school. That is very short-lived. That was another thing that was kind of awkward, is they didn't circle back around to that dynamic of her being in a private school, being bullied by some others. It just kind of happened, and then we moved on. So Also, Astrid's father has passed away in this movie, but you don't really know how he had a boating accident. I'm sorry, they don't talk about how is a better way to say that. So yeah, and they bring a baby Beetlejuice into it. I'm not trying to ruin anything. That doesn't really ruin anything. It's just part of the movie. It happens twice. It's pretty gross and weird. They did a good job with that. That was good. That was good. I was pretty pleased, pretty pleasantly surprised with the scary baby, and that was cool. And then Bob, okay, Bob is invaluable in this movie. All right, you know Bob from the trailer. Right? He's involved in this movie. He's a pretty critical character. I know it sounds sarcastic. It's mostly not. He's pretty critical. All right. This video is getting pretty long, so I'm gonna cut it short. I will say go see it. I would recommend. I would recommend going and see it. Go see it for yourself. All right. So at the very least, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna try to go back on to John's rating. My buddy John asked me a long time ago to make ratings. I think it was more for food, but we'll do it for the movies too. And it's just supposed to be random. So out of 5 subway stations, I give this about 3 out of 5 subway stations. Okay, so that's where I'll put it. It's worth seeing. Don't get too worked up about it, but try to enjoy yourself. Remember that the actors are getting older, and so some of the behavior is just different. That's all. So fun movie. Some good jokes, some bad jokes. Some not a whole lot of jump scares, except at the end. They do a good job at the end, and that's all I'll tell you. And there's an entire musical sequence, you guys. All right, you had Deo in the first one, daylight coming, we want to go home, everybody knows a song. All right, I'm not gonna sing it. That's gonna be really cringy and awkward. But that was, I don't know, that wasn't very long. This movie has an entire song, and I'll leave it at that. So enjoy that moment. They do make that kind of fun. In the meantime, you guys go out, see the movies. Weather's getting nice. It's not as hot as it has been. So this is the perfect time. Get out of the house and go enjoy the movies, and then come outside afterwards and just bask in the weather for a little bit. All right. So keep your popcorn buttery, keep your soda full, keep getting out to see the movies. All right. Love you guys, and I'll see you around. Bye.